Hello class and welcome to art. Today we're going to be drawing a self-portrait and using the printing process. So I'm going to draw a self-portrait and create a stamp out of styrofoam, and then we will ink the stamp and we will print it onto a piece of paper. To start today, I am going to do a drawing of the human face on a sheet of paper. Now, because this is going to be a self-portrait, okay, we will be using a mirror so that you can look at yourself and really determine what your eyes look like, what your hair looks like, to better draw yourself. So, I'm using this worksheet. This is going to help me to decide kind of step by step how I need to draw a few of the things, and then I can add the details that I need for it to look like me. So I'm going to start with the head, and today I'm going to be drawing very light lines because most of these lines we're drawing we will erase. They're just guidelines for where we need to draw. So very lightly I'm going to draw a circle in the middle of my paper, kind of towards the top. And then it's asking me to draw this curved line at the bottom. That represents our chin. So on one side of my circle I'm going to start and go down and kind of go towards the middle. I'm not making a point, but it is getting smaller, and then I'm going to go back up to the other side of the circle. I didn't like that, so I'm just going to add to it, which is fine because I'm then going to erase what I don't need. I don't need this line in the middle. This is not a natural line in our face. It's just a guideline to help us draw. The next step is to add lines of symmetry, which are lines right down the middle of our shape. One line up and down, one line side to side. I'm trying to get right in the middle of that shape. Now, my eyes are going to be right in the middle of this shape. So in the middle, I'm going to draw two pupils, one on each side. Then I'm going to draw my eyeball. I know that sounds silly, but we need to draw a circle for the eyeball. And I need to draw the eyelid. So I'm going to start on one side of that line that's in the middle and make curved lines around the shape of my eyeball. That's your eyelid. That's how your eyeball gets covered. If you'd like to add eyelashes, you can. Most everybody has eyelashes, but we usually draw them to represent girls. So girls, if you'd like to draw your eyelashes, you can. Now it's asking me to draw my nose line. My nose line is halfway between my eyes and my chin. So in this space, I'm going to draw another line side to side, and it's about the middle. So it's in between this space and this space. And my nose is going to be a curved line right in the middle where those lines touch. Alright, now I can draw my ears because my ears fall in between this line where my eyes are and this line where my nose is. So I'm going to start a little bit lower than the top line, curve up and back down, and then curve to my head. Same on this side. Start a little bit lower than the line so I can curve it up and over, down, and curve it around towards my head. Those are my ears. I can finish my eyes by drawing my lower lid. That's a curved line down. And what it does is it starts at one side of your top eyelid, curves down around your eyeball, and back to the corner of your eyelid. I can add my eyebrows. There's two options for eyebrows, okay? So above your eye, you can draw a curved line that matches a little bit further down, and then on top, a line that goes up and then follows that curve down. Or you can kind of use this zigzag motion and kind of curve. You're still following the curve of your eye, but going all the way around and shortening your zigzag line as it gets closer to the bottom. Two options. You may choose whichever you prefer. Now we need to draw our mouth. Our mouth is now in between our nose and our chin. So to help us out, I'm drawing another line across. So I know that my mouth is going to be in this space. Just like my nose, it's a curved line on top of here, but it's a little bit longer than my nose. And that's just the middle of my mouth. That's not my lips, but the opening for my mouth. Then I can add the lips, which is 2 bumpy lines on top, and then 1 curved line on the bottom. After that, I need to add my hairline, which is, it follows the top of my head, but starts at my ear, and it's a small curve around until I reach my other ear. Now, this looks funny, but this is the top of your head, and this is where your hair starts. Most of us have bangs that cover our forehead. This would be our forehead. So bangs are going to cover this line, but we want to draw this line so we know where our hair starts. Alright, so now's the time to look in the mirror and check what your hair looks like. I'm going to draw a few choices for us just to give everybody some options for what your hair might look like. So I'm going to do a boy and a girl option, and then I'll flip my paper over and do a second option. So for girls, if you have bangs across your head, the forehead, okay, you're going to draw the zigzag line. Most girls, though, have longer bangs. That's the style now. So what I'll do is I'll kind of draw a long curved line towards my ear, and that represents where my bangs are falling across my forehead. Now I can do these little lines to help me. Then from this hairline, I'll draw lines down. I have straight hair, so this is kind of what I'm drawing right now. Straight hair, following the curve of my head, and then it just flows behind my ear, down past my ear, depending on how long your hair is, and that's fine. So I'm just creating those long lines to represent hair. We're not drawing every strand, but those lines are details of our hair. Now boys, like I was saying for girls, if you've got bangs across the front of your hair, it's kind of like zigzag lines, like monster teeth. And boys, you have some hair that's going to grow down the side of your face by your ear. Those are called sideburns. So my zigzag line is going to follow all the way down towards the middle of my ear. And I don't need this line anymore, boys. So I'm going to erase that. And just like I did with the girls, I left some lines. You can kind of do some lines too as well, guys, just to represent your bangs or where your hair is falling, the direction that it moves down your head. Alright, let's see. So those are 2 options for hair. I'm going to need to add a neck. So close to this mouth line on your chin, I'm going to do a curved line in, and another curved line in, a curved line for my shirt collar, and a curved line down for my shoulders. Okay, and then I would just erase all of these lines. It's okay if they don't fully erase, because it won't mess up our stamp, but we want to make sure they're completely gone so that when it's time to draw on our stamp, we don't accidentally draw them. So all of these lines. And you can see, as I'm erasing, I'm running into things that need to stay. So I'll go back and fix those after I've erased everything. I don't really want that one to be in my mouth. Okay, so I need to go back and fix my lips, and the side of my face, my hair. So I'm just cleaning up the drawing after I erased to make sure things that were erased that need to stay can stay. Now you have a few options. You can finish your nose, which is 2 small nostrils to the side. Some people carry that line up and kind of curves around towards your eyebrow. It doesn't touch it, but it goes towards it. If you have freckles, you can add a few dots for freckles. If you wear glasses, that's a good way to represent who you are. So I can draw glasses around my eye if that's what's on my face when I look in the mirror. And depending on what your glasses look like, okay, you want to draw the shape that you see. Alright, so those are some of your options. Now let me go ahead and give you some more hair options. I have straight long hair for girls and straight hair with bangs for boys. Let me do a quick drawing of the face shape with a hairline. Now let's talk about some curly hair or hair in braids, okay? So girls, if you've got curly hair similar to what we did with girls with straight hair, you kind of can make these curl lines, these curved lines, and erase your hairline because we just use that as a guide of where to start. And if you want some curved lines on your head, that's fine. Also too, if you got a ponytail or braids, these represent beads in your hair, and you can just make curved lines, a lot of curved lines when you're drawing portrait to represent braids, little beads at the bottom. Okay, so girls with curly hair or wearing a ponytail or braid today. Boys with curly hair or hair that sticks straight on your head. So you guys probably don't have bangs that cover your forehead, but your hair has a place to start, and that's called your hairline, okay? So we're going to draw your hair like it's on top of your head in between these two lines. So if you've got curly hair, I'm just going to create little circles or curved lines like we did with the curls, but smaller, to represent those curls that are on top of your head. If you've got straight hair that is on top of your head, you can just do straight lines up and down or side to side in that area. The choice is yours, okay? So look in the mirror and really decide how you're going to draw what you see and what your hair looks like. Now it is time for you to draw your self-portrait in pencil.